Hello, let's dive into the story. I bet you didn't know Hiru Onoda's incredible story. The jungle was his battleground. It was a place where the dense canopy of trees and thick underbrush provided both cover and concealment. The sounds of the jungle, the rustling leaves, and the distant calls of animals became the background music to his life. Every step he took was calculated, every movement deliberate, as he navigated the treacherous terrain. The silence was his constant companion. In the stillness of the jungle, he found a strange sense of peace, even as the threat of danger loomed large. The quiet moments were filled with introspection, memories of home, and the ever-present duty that kept him going. The silence was both a friend and a foe, offering solace and amplifying the loneliness. He moved like a phantom, a ghost of a war long gone. His training had taught him to be invisible, to blend seamlessly with his surroundings. The jungle was his ally, providing him with the means to remain undetected. He became one with the environment, a shadow that slipped through the trees, unseen and unheard. But for Hiru Onoda, the war was far from over. While the world moved on, he remained steadfast in his mission. The determination in his eyes spoke volumes about his unwavering resolve. He was a man on a mission, driven by a sense of duty that transcended time and circumstance. He was a soldier of the Japanese Imperial Army. His training was rigorous, his discipline unyielding. The pride he felt in wearing his uniform was matched only by his commitment to his country. He was prepared to do whatever it took to fulfill his orders, no matter the cost. He was stationed on Lubang Island in the Philippines. The island's lush vegetation and rugged terrain became his home, his fortress. It was here that he would spend the next 3 decades living off the land and evading capture. The island was both a sanctuary and a prison, a place where he would test the limits of his endurance. His orders were simple: never surrender, never give up. These words became his mantra, guiding him through the darkest of times. The weight of his mission was heavy, but he bore it with unwavering resolve. His loyalty to his superiors and his country was absolute, and he was determined to see his mission through to the end. For almost 30 years he obeyed. Through the passage of time, the changing seasons, and the relentless challenges of jungle life, he remained true to his orders. His resilience was nothing short of extraordinary, a testament to his unbreakable spirit. He faced hunger, illness, and isolation, yet he never wavered in his commitment. Hiru Onoda's story is one of incredible resilience. It is a narrative that defies the ordinary, showcasing the lengths to which a person can go when driven by a profound sense of duty. His journey is a powerful reminder of the human capacity for endurance and perseverance, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. It is a testament to the power of the human spirit and the unwavering commitment to duty. Onoda's story resonates with anyone who has ever faced a challenge and found the strength to overcome it. His unwavering dedication serves as an inspiration, a beacon of hope for those who strive to stay true to their principles. It is a tale of survival against impossible odds, a journey marked by courage, tenacity, and an unyielding will to live. Onoda's ability to adapt and survive in the harshest of conditions is a testament to his resourcefulness and determination. His story is a vivid illustration of the human instinct to survive, no matter the circumstances, a journey into the heart of a man who lived through history and emerged as a symbol of a bygone era. Onoda's life is a bridge between the past and the present, a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who came before us. His legacy is one of honor, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit, a story that will continue to inspire generations to come. Hiru Onoda was born in 1922 in the village of Kamikawa, Japan. It was a small, serene village, surrounded by lush greenery and the gentle hum of nature. Life in Kamikawa was simple, yet it instilled in its residents a profound sense of community and duty. He was a strong and determined young man, raised with a deep sense of loyalty and honor. From a young age, Onoda was taught the values of perseverance and resilience. His parents, like many in their generation, emphasized the importance of duty to one's family and country. When war broke out, he enlisted in the Japanese Imperial Army. The call to serve was not just a duty but a matter of pride. The nation was at war, and every able-bodied man was expected to contribute to the war effort. He received training in guerrilla warfare and intelligence gathering. This training was rigorous and demanding, designed to prepare soldiers for the harsh realities of war. Onoda excelled in these areas, showing a natural aptitude for strategy and survival. He was later commissioned as a second lieutenant. This promotion was a testament to his skills and his unwavering dedication. As a second lieutenant, Onoda was entrusted with greater responsibilities and the lives of the men under his command. His skills and his dedication made him a valuable asset. Onoda's superiors recognized his potential and often relied on him for critical missions. His ability to remain calm under pressure and his strategic thinking set him apart from his peers. In 1944, Onoda was sent to Lubang Island in the Philippines. This island was of strategic importance, and the Japanese forces needed to maintain control over it to disrupt enemy supply lines and communications. His mission was to gather intelligence and disrupt enemy operations. This involved not only observing enemy movements but also engaging in sabotage and guerrilla tactics. Onoda and his men had to remain hidden, often moving under the cover of darkness to avoid detection. It was a dangerous assignment, one that would test his limits and forge his destiny. The jungles of Lubang were unforgiving, filled with natural hazards and the constant threat of enemy patrols. Yet, Onoda's resolve never wavered. He was determined to fulfill his mission no matter the cost. This unwavering commitment would define his legacy and make him a symbol of duty and perseverance. On December 26, 1944, Lieutenant Onoda received his final orders. His commanding officer, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, instructed him to stay behind enemy lines. His mission was to wage guerrilla warfare against the advancing American forces. He was told to never surrender, to fight until his last breath. These orders were absolute. They were etched into Onoda's mind, becoming his guiding principles. He would later say, "I was a soldier. I had to obey." Little did he know, these orders would shape the next 3 decades of his life. Lubang Island was a jungle paradise, but for Onoda, it became a prison of his own making. He disappeared into the dense undergrowth with 3 fellow soldiers. They were cut off from the outside world. They were surrounded by enemy forces. They lived on what they could scavenge. They ate wild fruits and hunted small animals. They were constantly on the move, always alert for signs of the enemy. Their days were filled with danger and uncertainty. 30 years in the green abyss. Years turned into decades. The war ended, but Onoda and his comrades remained, trapped in their own time capsule of conflict. The world moved on, but they remained frozen in 1945. They conducted raids on local farms, believing they were still in enemy territory. They fired upon villagers, mistaking them for American soldiers. They lived in constant fear and suspicion, their minds slowly unraveling under the strain of isolation. They were haunted by the memories of war and consumed by their unwavering commitment to their orders. Jungle warfare. Onoda's survival skills were remarkable. He adapted to the harsh jungle environment. He became a master of camouflage and concealment. He could disappear into the undergrowth in an instant. He knew the jungle like the back of his hand. He kept his rifle meticulously clean, ready for action. He used bamboo traps and handmade explosives to defend himself. He was a formidable guerrilla fighter, a phantom of the jungle. Ghosts of war. As the years passed, Onoda's world shrank. His comrades died one by one, leaving him utterly alone. He clung to the belief that the war was still raging. He rationalized every encounter with the outside world as part of the ongoing conflict. He saw the planes flying overhead as enemy aircraft. He believed the leaflets dropped from the sky, urging him to surrender, were enemy propaganda. He dismissed the voices calling his name through loudspeakers as tricks designed to lure him out of hiding. The world outside. The world outside Lubang Island was changing rapidly. Japan had risen from the ashes of war to become an economic powerhouse. The Cold War had come and gone. Man had landed on the moon. But for Onoda, time stood still. He was a relic of a bygone era, a living embodiment of a war that had long since ended. He was trapped in a time warp of his own making, his mind still fighting the battles of the past. Voices from home. In the early 1970s, a young Japanese adventurer, Norio Suzuki, decided to find Onoda. Suzuki was fascinated by Onoda's story. He was determined to bring the lost soldier home. He traveled to Lubang Island and ventured into the jungle. After days of searching, Suzuki found Onoda. He tried to convince him that the war was over. He showed him newspapers and photos. But Onoda refused to believe him. He insisted that he would only surrender to a direct order from a superior officer. The last soldier's return. The Japanese government located Onoda's former commanding officer, Major Taniguchi. He had long since retired and was now a bookseller. Taniguchi traveled to Lubang Island and met with Onoda. He formally relieved him of his duties and ordered him to surrender. On March 9, 1974, almost 30 years after the war ended, Hiro Onoda emerged from the jungle. He was 52 years old and still wearing his tattered uniform. He carried his rifle, his sword, and 500 rounds of ammunition. He surrendered to the Philippine authorities, ending his personal war. A changed world. The world Onoda returned to was not the one he had left behind. The echoes of war had faded, replaced by the hum of a rapidly modernizing society. Japan had transformed itself from the ashes of conflict into a beacon of economic growth and technological advancement. Onoda's return to Japan was a media sensation. The nation was captivated by the story of a soldier who had remained hidden in the jungles of the Philippines for nearly 3 decades, unaware that the war had ended. He was hailed as a hero by some, seen as a symbol of unwavering loyalty and dedication. His steadfastness in the face of overwhelming odds was admired by many who saw in him the embodiment of the samurai spirit. Yet he was condemned as a war criminal by others. Critics argued that his actions, which included guerrilla warfare and the killing of innocent civilians, were inexcusable, regardless of his orders. He struggled to adjust to life in a world he no longer recognized. The bustling cities, the new technologies, and the changing social norms were all alien to him. He had missed the entire post-war reconstruction and the cultural shifts that came with it. The Japan he returned to was vastly different from the one he had left behind. The country had undergone a miraculous transformation, rising from the devastation of war to become an economic powerhouse. He was a man out of time, his mind and body scarred by his long ordeal. The years of isolation had taken a toll on him, leaving him disconnected from the society that had moved on without him. But through it all, he remained true to his convictions. Onoda had lived by a code of honor and duty, and even in the face of overwhelming change, he held steadfast to the principles that had guided him through his years in the jungle. He had followed his orders, no matter the cost. His unwavering commitment to his mission, despite the passage of time and the changing world around him, was both his greatest strength and his greatest burden. Hiroo Onoda's story is a reminder of the enduring power of duty, the resilience of the human spirit, and the importance of finding peace, even in the aftermath of war. His life serves as a testament to the complexities of loyalty, the challenges of reintegration, and the enduring scars of conflict. It is a story that compels us to reflect on the true cost of war and the profound journey towards healing and reconciliation. Narrator. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories like this one. And let's go!